Good morning, fellow dairy farmers. Today we're going to show how we empty our manure pit and apply the manure out to the fields. So get on and get ready for the ride. Some farmers drive tractor, I drive a wheelchair. Welcome to the Wheeling Dairy Farmer. My family has been farming in Wisconsin since 1849. Our dairy farm is the proud caretaker of 1,200 Holstein cows who produce around 10,000 gallons of milk every day. Our farm has about 8 million gallons of liquid manure that needs to be applied to the fields twice a year. For our close fields, we use the direct pumping method, where we run a hose direct from the manure pit to the field, and the tractor applies it in the field directly. The way our farm works is we compress the solids out of the manure, so we end up with about a 14% dry matter compost, and the rest is liquid. The liquid is stored in our manure pit until it is legal to apply it in the very early spring or in the fall after the crops are off the fields. We generally will lay the hose from the pit to the field, under the highway through an existing culvert, and across a town road through an existing culvert again. Here you can see, as we're coming up on the manure pit, it is almost empty. This is the last day we're pumping in the very early spring. In the field, the tractor is applying the manure directly to the soil. If you look directly behind the wheels of the tractor at that green hose, the manure is flowing out of the green hose and right in front of the discs, where it is immediately incorporated into the soil. The hose connected to the tractor is called the drag line, and the hose that you see next to the tractor is the feeder hose. We run the feeder hose to the middle of the field and then use the drag line to be dragged back and forth across the field. If you notice, the applicator is going at a diagonal across the field. This is pure geometry, that the further you get away from the feeder hose, the shorter the distances the tractor has to move, so there's less hose being used. The hose is really expensive, so we always want to use minimum hose as possible. It also helps that we're not dragging around such a heavy weight behind the tractor. The tractor is going really slow, between 1 to 2 miles an hour, and that speed is dictated by the quantity of manure that is able to be pumped through the hose. We want to put around 8,000 gallons per acre, so the speed of the tractor is completely governed by the pressure and the volume of manure that is able to travel through the hose. The amount of manure we're able to apply to each field is strictly regulated by the Department of Natural Resources. For any fields further than a mile away from the farm, we need to haul the manure in trucks. We have 4 5,000 gallon tanker trucks that we can haul manure with to get it out to the field. The trucks come to the manure pit, and we have the same pumping apparatus that's used to pump through the hose, but we have a loading spout that we use to fill the trucks. Each truck will take about 90 seconds to load so that we can keep the tractor moving in the field. Hauling with the trucks is a more expensive option, but necessary if the fields are far away. It is more labor intensive, since we must have 4 truck drivers, the tractor driver, and the operator of the pump at the pit. We maintain the 4 tractor trailer units to keep a constant flow of manure going to the field. It is similar to using the hose, but we have 18 wheels underneath. On a good day, if things go properly, we can haul 1 million gallons of manure from the pit to the field. You can see here it is a constant flow of trucks to keep the tractor moving in the field. Once the trucks get to the field, we empty each truck into what we call the dumpster. It is basically a big storage holding tank with a pump on it. We need to empty the truck out in less than 3 minutes to keep the tractor moving in the field. At the field, the operation is the same as it would be without using the trucks. There's a feed line coming from the dumpster to the middle of the field, and then the drag line that is hooked to the tractor. You can see here how the tractor turns around at the end of the field, and the reason for the long rigid pipe that is on the back of the applicator unit. It is to keep the hose over to the side of the tractor so he does not run into it as he starts the new length of the field. You can see here the hose is dragged behind the tractor as he moves along. Again, this is the same operation we use without the trucks. The operator in the tractor cannot shut the flow of manure off as he makes the corner to start a new path down the field. With the flow of manure continuously moving through the hose, if he abruptly shut off the valve to the tractor, it would have a good tendency to rupture the hose. So I will end here, and you will see more videos in the future. Just remember to think safety when you're around the farm equipment. I'll see you next video.